It's Cinemassacre's Monster Madness Godzillathon. Okay, this one is called Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Just rolls off your tongue. Seriously, what kind of title is that? Anyway, this one, again, is another sequel to the original, and we assume that it ignores all in between. Why do they keep doing that? Godzilla's given a new look again, this time looking more like the classic Godzilla, but with blank white eyes. Now, as one would expect from the title, Mothra and King Ghidorah are present, but there's also Baragon. Why did he get left out of the title? Was it too long for just one more? Baragon first made his appearance in Frankenstein Conquers the World, and he also made a brief appearance in Destroy All Monsters. He was supposed to have more scenes where he was attacking Paris, but they replaced him with Gorosaurus. Then, he was supposed to be in the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, but they replaced him with Anguirus. Now, he finally gets a big part in another movie, and they don't even put him in the title. Bottom line, nobody gives a shit about Baragon. There's also a monster from the Gamera series called Barugun that shoots rainbows out its back. That's Baragon and Barugun. Get it right. They're two totally, completely different things. They just happen to look almost identical and have basically the same name. Then there's Mothra, who looks quite good. Before, she's always looked kind of like a fluffy butterfly piece of shit, but now she's finally got a decent update. This time you actually see the damage that the monsters are causing. I mean, before you'd always see people running, but now you actually see people getting injured. Ghidorah makes his appearance during the final fight, but this time they're both against Godzilla. And in between it all, there's some army intervention, but Godzilla eradicates their ass. Man, you don't fuck with Godzilla. He takes on everybody. Boom! 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 Man, this is out of control. The special effects are pretty spectacular, too. This movie starts out a little slow, but by the end, you're exhilarated. A satisfying entry in the series, despite some quirky things to make fun of, it's actually a pretty damn good monster flick. One of the best of the Millennium series. It's Cinemassacre's Monster Madness Godzillathon. Okay, this is Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, sometimes called Godzilla X Mechagodzilla, but it should really just be called Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 3. From now on, there weren't really any new monsters in the Godzilla universe. They were down to remaking the same ones over and over, this time Mechagodzilla again. I've mentioned that I preferred the 70s Mechagodzilla over the 90s version, but the Millennium version gives us a happy balance, coming closer to the design of the original, but still updating it appropriately. But the first thing I should really mention is that this movie is once again another reboot to the series, ignoring all previous installments except for the original. Did they just feel that the first one was gold and the rest were all a load of shit? It's true that the original can be regarded as the best, but why no more continuity between the films? This is the 4th time in a row they did this. Once again, the plot revolves around the military who build Mechagodzilla to fight Godzilla. But this time, Mechagodzilla is built around the actual skeleton of the original Godzilla. Yeah, so the Godzilla in this movie is definitely the second of its kind. And the original Godzilla bones are now inside Mechagodzilla. So it's the new Godzilla fighting the old one. Once you're able to wrap your head around that, it gets even more crazy. There's actually traces of Godzilla's DNA in the bones, and somehow that causes a genetic memory that Mechagodzilla remembers that it was Godzilla and then goes on a rampage through the city. Now that's just mind-blowing. So most of the movie deals with the military's attempt to get Mechagodzilla under control. Oh, and I forgot to mention, they don't call it Mechagodzilla, they constantly refer to it as Kiru. What the hell, it's Mechagodzilla, that's what the title says. Kiru? What kind of dumb name is that? What did you just say? Godzilla sucks dick? They also tried to make Mechagodzilla more realistic by giving him a limited amount of fighting time before he runs out of power. They use planes to take him to his destination. I guess that saves him gas. Nothing's realistic to begin with, so what's the deal? Mechagodzilla has some great powers, the ability to freeze shit and then crush the ice. They try to use it on Godzilla, but it fails. He's also mounted with a super laser cannon that obliterates anything in front of it. It seems that's the only weapon that might stand a chance against Godzilla, but whenever they try to use it on him, something goes wrong. The effects are pretty good, and the monster battles are great. but this one leaves you wishing for a little more. It seemed that this one spent a lot of time setting up the story, reinventing Godzilla again, and concentrating on the humans' efforts to get Mechagodzilla working. All in all, not bad, but at least it had a direct sequel, coming next. It's Cinemassacre's Monster Madness, Godzillathon. Godzilla Tokyo SOS is a direct sequel to the last movie, and that's great because the last movie was more like a setup to this one. It re-established Godzilla for the fourth time in a row and reinvented Mechagodzilla for the third time total. But now, we're ready to rock and roll. Not only does it pit Godzilla against Mechagodzilla in their final battle, but it throws Mothra in the mix. Mothra is apparently upset that the original Godzilla bones were taken from the sea. Please refer back to my last review because I'm not explaining that one again. But anyway, why the hell does Mothra care about Godzilla's bones? But it doesn't seem to matter much anyway. She comes in and tries to stop Godzilla, but she gets her ass kicked. What do you expect? Soon enough, Mechagodzilla joins the action. Eventually, Mothra is defeated, but her twin babies hatch and they continue to fight for her, just like in the original Godzilla vs. Mothra. It's an all-out monster brawl. It's what you expect. Not much to say about this one, but just look at it. Has a lot of destruction, a lot of flashy effects, same old stuff, but it leaves you satisfied.